Hello? Oh. त्यो होइन ठ्याक्कै त्यसको त्योभन्दा अलि उता पनि छ नि एउटा बस बिसाउने जस्तो छ नि टिन होइन तपाईँको ढुङ्गाबाट आउनु भयो ए चपलमा चपल आफ्नो कुरो भन्दैछु कि त्यो बाटो हुन्छ दुईवटा बाटो छ नि ठ्याक्कै यता आउट अफ डिनर जाने दुईवटा बाटो छ है त्यहाँ तपाईँ त्यही जस्ट नेपाल ओभरसिज पक्न है त म म्यापमा हेरिहाल्छु कता रहेछ ल ए युरो किड्स सबैजना फेरि त्यही बाटो जाँदो रहेछ त्योभन्दा नेक्स्ट बाटो जानुपर्ने युरो किड्स तपाईँ ठ्याक्कै त्यो नेक्स्टको बाटो जानु अलिकतिको नेक्स्टको बाटो जानु भयो भने पक्नु है त होइन त्यहीँबाट चाहिँ आउन मिल्छ आउन चाहिँ त्यहाँ तपाईँ त्यो युरो किड्स भन्दा अलि युरो किड्सको कता हुनुहुन्छ ठ्याक्कै भन्नु ए त्यहाँबाट यता राइटतिर सिधै बाटो छ नि होला र यसरी नै राख्दै थियो कि ओबिएसबाट ओबिएस टिम हानिदिएको कि हेर नि अब 2200 हेर्नु यस्तो भयो भने त के हुन्छ त अनि
एफटिटिएसमा कसलाई गरौँ उज्जवल दाइ
हेर नि लस
कति छ सियुजी
50 1.7 kbps 200 kbps मा अपलोड
अघि देखेको थियो त्यो देख्न त उज्जवल दाइले दिउँसो त देखेको थियो आएको त हो अफिस
ए 242 किलोबाइट पर सेकेन्डमा भइरहेछ कि
99901 5990 ल ल ल
यतिमा 3072 सम्म जानुपर्ने हो मेरो खासमा होइन 230 मा गइरहेछ मेरो साथीहरूको पनि पठाइन्छ हेर है त यो अर्को सुविसु युजर हो यो
यो तपाईँको यसको त केही हुनै भएन यो त देखाउनलाई त अब
ए हेर न 3 जनाको छ नि 3 जनाको
होइन अपलोड त हाम्रो यस्तै देखाउँछ 1 MBPS 2 MBPS देखाउँछ होइन
हुँदैन नि त तर भयो त मान्छे नि त म भएको छैन ल हेर मैले तिमीहरूलाई म त अघि फ्रस्टु भएर यहाँ स्ट्रिमै गरेर राखिदिएको ल मेरो ओबिएस हेर भनेर म त लिङ्कै पठाइदिएको थिएँ युट्युबमा यस्तो त के गर्नु ब्रो यार यो किन कि हेर त यहाँ 1700 170 किलो
25 MBPS भन्नु होइन
3000 आउनु पऱ्यो नि यहाँ 3000 किलो बिट्स त 30000 आउनुपर्छ भाइनेट मजाले हुन्थ्यो
बार त्यहाँ 36 त्यही 3000 होइन 1000 त्यहाँ त्यही 3000 होइन 3000 नआए पनि लगभग 2000 देखि 3000 को रेन्जमा आउनु पऱ्यो होइन
यो किलो बिट्स हो कि यो त 30000 मा आउनु पऱ्यो ब्रो किलो बाइट पो 3000 हो त यो त हेर त यतिमा त अड्किन्छ अब मेरो म साथीको सेम टाइममा गरेको उसको देखाइदिन्छु है त यस्तो र मैले सँगै गरेको हेर है यस्तो
कसको नकब्याक रे
मै बोल्दा हो त्यो अब उसको चाहिँ 1080p 60 मा हुन्छ के अनि 0 फ्रेम लस छ के उसको अब मेरो चाहिँ यहाँ हेर न त्यो मलाई फोटो हेरे जस्तो हुन्छ पल्टाइ उसको मजासित हुन्छ भाइनेटको साथीको पनि मजासित हुन्छ यो हेर नि यस्तो छ यसले त अझ 24 घटाउँछु 40,000 किलोबिट्स पर सेकेन्ड
हेलो
मै बोल्दा
दाइ हजुर दाइ कहाँ हो भित्रै हुनुहुन्छ म प्रदीप भाइ हो एलनबाट दाइ होइन अहिले म हाम्रो यहाँ चप्पल कारखाना उज्जवल
प्रज्वल
ए प्रज्वल प्रज्वल SH_FTTH छु कि दाइ होइन यहाँ क्लाइन्टकोमा चाहिँ तपाईँको यो हाम्रो अपलोड इस्युमा चाहिँ प्रब्लम आयो भन्नुभयो FTTH होइन त्यही भएर चाहिँ फोन गरेको दाइ के गर्न सकिन्छ भित्रबाट के हेर्नुहुन्छ कि अपलोड भएन क्लाइन्टको चाहिँ नि अब कति 24
कसरी सुबिसुको
25 होइन
25
ब्यान्डविडमा अब तपाईँको 3 MBPS हुनुपर्ने 3 भएन भन्नुहुन्छ
0.3 पनि छैन
0.3 पनि छैन अहिले खै कति एकचोटि देखाउँ त
मैले म स्ट्रिम लिङ्कै पठाइदिन्छु नि दाइलाई यस्तो छ होइन
उहाँको सिङ्गल मल्टिपल भन्दा यो गेमहरू चाहिँ अपलोड गर्नु हुँदो रहेछ होइन
सिङ्गल युजरै हो हजुर ल्यान्ड केबल
भन्नाले के कुरा चाहिँ सिङ्गल डाउनलोड गरेर मल्टिपल गर्नुभएको कि सिङ्गल
सिङ्गल
सिङ्गल ऊ हो होइन लगभग त्यही अब 3000 4000 बिट्स पर सेकेन्ड गइरहेको छ कि
3000 4000 छ त्यो त कहिले काहीँ हो त्यो
यो तपाईँको केमा भनेपछि यो OBS भन्ने गेम अपलोड गर्ने साइट हुन्छ नि होइन खै कुन गेम रहेछ
लिग अफ लेजेन्ड्स भन्ने हो गेम चाहिँ त्यो कुन गेम के मतलब भयो अपलोड स्पिड नभएपछि होइन साँच्ची भन्नुपर्दा हजार तले एउटै कुरा भन्ने यार यो हेर भनेर पठाइ पठाइदेऊ न अपलोड स्पिड चाहिँ देखिन्छ मैले अघि नै पठाइदिएको थिएँ
3000 जान्छ त्यो त कहिले काहीँ
यो तपाईँको केमा भनेपछि यो ओबिएस भन्ने यो के
यो त खासमा अहिले 5 बजेर हो क्या
एकछिन है युजर नेम चाहिँ हाम्रो प्रज्वल PRAJWOL SH_APTH
हेर्छ होला नि सुबिसीको च्याटमा यहीँ छ यो त खासमा अहिले 5 बजेर हो क्या ल एत्तेरी मेरो फेसबुक स्ट्रिम भएछ
प्रज्वल PRAJWOL SH_APTH
1800 यतिमा बस्छ कि फ्रेम लस हेर न
खै अरू फाइलहरू चाहिँ चेक गर्नु भएको छैन होइन ल हुन्छ म पनि हेर्छु
हेर्छ होला नि सुबिसी अनि त्यो भन्दा नि अब तिनजनाकोमा प्रब्लम छ क्या सुबिसी तिमीहरूको सिस्टममै प्रब्लम हो कि ल
हुन्छ
सेन्ड
तपाईँ कि यताबाट नि हेर्छु तपाईँ पनि हेर्नु है ल म कल गर्छु
1800 यतिमा बस्छ कि ल बस्छ गर के गर्ने हो मैले कम्प्युटर
ड्राइभहरूमा अपलोड गर्दा चाहिँ कतिको हुन्छ
गुगल ड्राइभहरूमा लोकल क्यास हो त्यसमा त जतिमा नि होला त्यो होइन भने त भाइनेट र वर्ल्डिङको मजासित स्ट्रिम हुन्छ सुबिसी किन भने म त त्यो भन्दा नि अब तिनजनाकोमा प्रब्लम
यही गेम भाइनेट
अब मैले साथीको देखाएँ नि त अहिले मैले साथीको देखाएँ नि त तिमीलाई
भनौँ न यताबाट नि हजुर 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 कल गर्छु ठिक
ल बस्छ गर के गर्ने हो मैले कम्प्युटर
ड्राइभहरूमा
ल यो साथीको
नम्बर युजी
गुगल ड्राइभ त्यही गेम हो साथी
356
लोकल वर्ल्डिङको जतिमा नि होला त्यो होइन भने त भाइनेट र वर्ल्डिङको मजासित स्ट्रिम हुन्छ सुबिसी किन भने म त त्यो भन्दा नि अब त्यही गेम हो ल त्यही गेम हिजो त्यही टाइम अब मैले साथीको देखाएँ नि त मजासित भइरहेछ तिमीहरूकै नभए अस्ति पनि भइसक्यो भनेको यार कुरा गर्दा फेसै देख्दैन क्या ब्रो
कहाँ हुन्छ अप्सन
ल यो साथीको
हेलो
यो चाहिँ उहाँले
मगल कुरा एउटा कुरा भन्नु न बोर्डिङ र भाइनेटबाट केही कुरा होइन मैले 10 दिन भइसक्यो होइन सिस्टमको टिमलाई बनाइदियो भनेको नि त एउटा कुरा भन्नु न बोर्डिङ र भाइनेटबाट 0.3 भन न जे छ त्यो भन अपलोड कति छ भन्दै हो होइन बोर्डिङ र भाइनेट पनि भइरहेछ
त्यो त थाहा भएन नि मलाई चाहिँ भिडियो अब हाम्रो भाइनेटको कनेक्सन उहाँको होइन उहाँले के भन्नुभयो भाइनेट बोल्डिङ
सँगै खेल्छ जहिले सँगै गर्छ अपलोड कति छ भन्दै हो होइन बोर्डिङ र भाइनेट पनि भइरहेछ
त्यो त थाहा भएन नि मलाई चाहिँ भिडियो अब अपलोडै भएन भन्दा पनि के तपाईँको अपलोड चाहिँ धेरै स्लो छ कि
धन्यवाद ब्रो यार बल्ल
यो हाम्रो यो ओबिएस भन्ने एउटा साइट छ होइन
सफ्टवेयर हो
सफ्टवेयर छ होइन यो ओबिएस भन्ने सफ्टवेयरमा चाहिँ यो यो चाहिँ तपाईँको के छ पुरा यो सफ्टवेयरको नामहरू छ
ओबिएसै हो
यति नै हो ओबिएस ओबिएसै हो ओबिएस सबै क्यापिटलमा छ सर्भर होइन सफ्टवेयर
हेलो सौरभ म प्रज्वल के म भाइनेटको मान्छेसँग कुरा गरेर थियो तिम्रो नि वाइल्ड स्लो छ है नेट तिम्रो पनि नेट वाइल्ड स्लो छ नि सुबिसो भने है वाइल्ड स्लो छ है अनि स्ट्रिमिङहरू पनि भएको छ स्ट्रिमिङहरू पनि भएको छ नि त्यही त है स्ट्रिम नभएको टन्नै भइसक्यो तिमीले नि गर्थ्यो होइन त्यही त मलाई पुरा मैले पनि 10 दिन भयो भनेको बनाइदिएकै छैन कि अनि स्ट्रिमिङहरू पनि भएको छ स्ट्रिमिङहरू पनि भएको छ त्यही त है स्ट्रिम नभएको टन्नै त्यही मेरो पनि लाइक मैले पनि पुरा व्यस्त कि छैन त्यही त साथै 1 महिना फोन गरेर नभयो तिम्रो युजर आइडी के हो भन त सौरभ के नै हो अनि इटा अरे होइन इटा अरे होइन झापामा होइन तिम्रो
यो चाहिँ तपाईँको हाम्रो डबल स्क्रिन छ होइन त्यसमै हो डाइरेक्ट ल्यान्ड कनेक्ट छ
मैले बुझेन ल मिरा चोक होइन विराट चोक ओके 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 झापामा कुरा गरेर आएको थियो क्या जहिले मेरोमा प्रब्लम भनेर कहिले के चाहिँ गरेर कहिले के चाहिँ गरेर झगडा चाहिँ ल मैले बुझेँ त्यही भने कस्तो मलाई अरे ल मिरा चोक होइन विराट चोक ओके त्यही भने ल सौरभ मास्क होइन ल ठिक छ ल तिम्रो नि भयो पन भाइलाई फोन गर्छु एकलट ल
फ्रेम ड्रप पनि भइरहेछ भन्नुहुन्छ होइन 47.3% चाहिँ ड्रप भइरहेछ भन्नुहुन्छ होइन
त्यो तपाईँको अपलोड स्पिडले गर्दा हो ओइ आवाज घरमा हो त अफिसमा हो कहिले घर पुग्छस् सुबिसुको मान्छे आइरहेको थियो कि अनि मेरो अपलोड बिग्रेछ भनेर भन्छु सब ठिक छ मात्रै भन्छ 10 दिन भइसक्यो है तेरो एकतालि ओबिएस स्ट्रिम गर्दैन ओबिएसको कति किलोबाइट पर सेकेन्ड जान्छ भनेर है मैले कहिले घर पुग्छ
यो ओपन ब्रोडकास्टर सर्भर हो
ओपन ब्रोडकास्टर कति जान्छ रे तेरो सुबिसुको मान्छे आइरहेको थियो कि अनि मेरो मजाले जान्छ होइन 0 फ्रेम ड्रप है ओबिएस स्ट्रिम गर्दैन ओबिएसको कति किलोबाइट पर सेकेन्ड जान्छ
मलाई सुनाएको
दाइले सुने
मैले सुन्नुभएको छैन काम गरिरहनु भएको
हो ल धन्यवाद 10 दिन भइसक्यो के गर्न आउने मजाले जान्छ होइन 0 फ्रेम ड्रप है धन्यवाद 10 दिन भइसक्यो के गर्न आउने फिडब्याक आइरहेको कि धन्यवाद फिडब्याक आइरहेको
comment and leave kind of thing, whereas it's an actual conversation in Discord. And for me, sitting and watching everyone speculating, guessing, and even making assumptions on how the Ryzen 3000 series would stack up against Intel's Core i7 and Core i9 processors in games, and me having the exact answer and the results there, like almost a week in advance, that was that was pretty hard to bite my tongue on that one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Because right before the launch of the reviews, just like a few hours before, I asked all of our Patreon members
for
what
me,
they thought,
sitting and watching everyone
were
speculating,
expecting the
guessing,
performance to
and
be, and I was
even
just sitting
making
there reading the
assumptions
comments, and
on
a
how
lot of people were expecting
the Ryzen
especially
3000
gaming
series would
CPUs to
stack up
perform a bit
against
better than
Intel's
they
Core i7
ended
and
up
Core
doing.
i9 processors.
That was all very interesting, but I never really had the
and me having
incentive
the
or thought
exact
to,
there,
like, share any
almost a week
information.
in advance. That
Obviously,
was,
you weren't going. We're not going to share NDA
To
information.
bite my tongue on that one.
Yeah, it's interesting when you guys come and speculate
right
before the launch
where
of the reviews, just like a few hours before.
Next question: if
I
LTT,
asked all
so
of our
minus tech tips,
Patreon
ever asked
members
me,
what they thought,
sitting and
what
watching
they
everyone
season
spec
performance
with
to
them,
be, and I was just sitting
making
there reading the
assumptions
comments, and
on
a lot of
how
people were expecting
the Ryzen
especially the
3000
gaming
series
CPUs
would
to
stack up
perform a bit
against
better than
Intel's
they
Core
ended
i7
up
and Core
doing.
i9
That was
processors
all
in
very
game. And me having
incentive
the
or thought
exact
to,
there, like
share any
almost a week in
information.
advance. That
Obviously,
was,
you weren't going.
knockback range भाइ
Hello? Expert song आएर हो सो यार आज त धुप्पी खाएर बिचरा यार उ भाइको त पिङ पनि राम्रो छैन के अरे प्रणवको जिन्दगीभर टिएफटी खेल्नु भयो बन्द भन्दा मक्क पर्दैन तपाईँ कतिसम्म खेल्नुहुन्छ दाइ रातभरि खेल्नुपर्छ गर्दै थियो आज What I found.
Claw or spear, your end's the same.
ल भन्छ टियर र म्याजिक के रेजिस्टवालाले के भन्छ
के रे
टियर र म्याजिक रेजिस्टवालाले के भन्छ
टियर र म्याजिक रेजिस्ट भनेपछि हस् हो के अरे
यार यार ल भन्नु यार फर्स्ट पार्ने मैले त त्यो भन्नेको के
उठ्न टाइम लाग्छ नि तर
बारे भन्ने 30 सेकेन्ड त लाग्दैन रहेछ लुसियनमा लुडेन्सेको बनायो के कस्तो
डिमन भन्यो नि त यार मेरो
ब्रो तीनटा डिमन
I know what lurks in the shadows.
ओरे सबैलाई मार्नुपर्छ भन्ने अनि गएर मर्दिने त्यही हो ताल तिमीलाई दुईटा टिमले लगातार डिमन बनायो दुई तीनटा टिमले बनायो भने सब टिम हार्ने कि
त्यही
पाउँदैन आफ्नैले पाउँदैन मलाई कम्प्लिट गर्न नआएर यस्तो झ्याउ के बन्छ नि थाहा हुँदैन जसरी डिमन चाहिँ बन्न हुन्छ होइन कहाँबाट त्यसमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ थाहा Undarul मारे यार मार दे Noble Dragon, Shift Shifter, Noble Blade Master.
I know.
Huh? के भने कोही त के भने हो ल त बोल्ला होला है म नसुन्दै होला साला
They will know regret.
Sky काट्छु जो
ओके
म त मेरो नेट फेरि उड्यो भन्नाले नले मलाई को चाहिन्छ मलाई थाहा छैन तर मसँग आइटम छैन कि मलाई चाहिने जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई किनभने आइटम पनि धेरै थाहा छैन
डिमन मात्रै आउँछ
ओके डिमन वार्ड आउँछ कि त्यही भएर कि नोबल मात्र आउँछ कि डिमन मात्र आउँछ थाहा छ तपाईँ जहिले त्यस्तै हो नोबल पाए मेरो टिएफ आयो भने त गोल ठुकार्दै बस्नुहुन्थ्यो 50 हेल्थसम्म एउटाले पो हँसेर त्यो कहाँ पढ्यो युट्युबमा पढ्यो पाइरेटले अटोमेटिक गोल्ड दिन्छ भन्ने ठानेर नलिकन बसेको रे बक्सा होइन अनि एकतालि बक्सा छोको रे 50 गोल्ड आएको रे क्या त्यसको ल हेर ताल ल कस्तो चोरी हो कि अब ग्यारेङमा हानेर बस्दिरह यार एक खेल्थ्यो होला बाइकको
Hope you like it rough.
कतिजना डिमन गइरहेछ एउटा गन्सलिङर गइरहेछ
6 जना होला यार डिमन त मलाई आफ्नो डिमन मात्रै देख्छ जस्तो लाग्छ हामी ग्लासिया लगायो ल चाले
Minecraft memes. You love them. I love them. Let's watch some. Yeah. Watch till the end of the video for a surprise. Now that I'm a Minecraft channel, I can finally understand Minecraft memes. So I asked you guys on Twitter, send me your best Minecraft memes. Let's see if we can make a skratta today. Welcome to Skratta Jam Minecraft edition. Okay, he's found diamonds. What is the twist? A creeper? Don't dig down. Hey, look, nothing. Oh. What? Stop! Stop! He's gonna jump in, isn't he? Oh, okay. That was a roller coaster. They had us in the first half, not gonna lie. I think they had me in every half. I never felt so epically trolled. Smash like if you got epically trolled.
What the fuck is that?
What the frick? This is my video. It really wasn't that funny, but at the same time, it was the first time we saw zombie in a minecart. It was funny. Damn, Minecraft looked different back then. The cobblestone is different, isn't it? Get the fraps! This has to be documented! No one's ever done this!
Yo, he off something, yo, look!
Is this he's gonna die edit? No! These are always so good. This is my video game.
Minecraft veteran, you know that you can jump off a high point and place water right before you hit
Only
the ground.
pros can do it.
You won't take any fall damage as such. And that's how it's done.
Welcome to the life of an idiot. I can laugh at my own jokes because I don't remember them. The mental lag is brutal. That's the sad thing. I was actually trying. Can't wait for Minecraft in 4K. Damn, Notch, come on. Let's make it happen. Since I play Minecraft now, I get this joke because it's not actually Minecraft. It's Spyro.
I'm glad I got me some donuts.
Another Minecraft death?
Light on. Man,
bring it to me. He had no loot? Are you kidding me? I don't believe that. See, I understand this joke now. It's the Eye of Ender. I get it. I get it. I'm part of you guys. I understand the joke. It's not that funny, but I get it. See, now I can truly appreciate this cursed image. Now that I play Minecraft. Please kill it. Why do you think I don't like water sheep? Let's get real here. Please stop it. I don't want to see your cursed imagery. Stop it. No. Don't do that to pee pee poo poo. Creeper. Oh man. How did that even happen? Damn creepers. I hope Nosh feels damn proud of himself for making tons of gamers suffer. SM Edge. I appreciate the Minecraft AirPods as well. I think this is more of a meme that I can truly appreciate it. It's like wine. I don't go, wow, this wine tastes good. It's more like, that's good. I like that. I like this meme. Another one. No, run!
Put it in reverse, Tim. Put it in reverse.
No! It's diamonds!
Bang up, bang up, bang up.
Since PewDiePie has now become a Minecraft YouTuber, I felt it was finally time to become a Minecraft editor. This is now a Minecraft page from now on. Smash like on that one. Thank you, very cool. Just don't mine straight down. No. Oh my god, I got trolled epically. Oh. Okay, that was good. Fine, that was good.
Rebel is just great, dude. Got all my freshly enchanted diamond tools, and that, why is there diamond block on the surface? Hey, free diamonds.
Only true gamers can understand this moment. Only true gamers can understand. I understand. Like, now that I play Minecraft, I understand the pain that this man is about to get inflicted upon himself. Okay, what is this then? No! Sven? Sven!
No, no!
Oh my god! Oh, poor Sven.
Let's go. Should know better.
Sven? Don't go there, Sven. Damn, even the trees in the background are there. Look at that. Oh, poor Sven. Sven. That's a like. I like that one. That was good. What can I say? Sometimes you guys have good memes. All right, next one.
7,777.
Peace out, sucker.
7,777.
Peace out, sucker.
Oh, that's good. Like half of the Minecraft memes is just falling or creepers. Only true Minecraft gamers can understand. Me hits pigman by accident. All pigman in nether. Buenos dias. This is like the only thing I haven't messed up yet in Minecraft. I'm pretty sure I just jinxed myself. Yeah, I jinxed myself. It's gonna happen. Normally I'm like, oh, pigmen, I should attack them. Minecraft, big brain. I'm not gonna hurt. I'm not doing that. Cool, Felix. Good. Do you want to tell us any more pointless information? Next. Hey. Oh god, not Sven memes. I can't handle it. Oh! How could you do that? That's awful! Edgar! That's so sad. I don't like. I feel you laugh, you're sad. Hey, Dolan got one. Dolan.
Sometimes you just have to take a risk.
What just happened?
It's a good meme. I have seen it already. I'm sorry, Dolan. Come nasai, Doc-san. But like before I got it, but now I truly understand. Like I bet she thought he jumped into lava or something like crazy. Water shit. Wait, the quality is so bad I can't see. What is that? She closes the door in her very nice house. Water shape! I knew it! He's invading other people's world in Dark Souls. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I seen the original of this.
Skills around the corner. Walking on fighting side of me.
How did people do this?
It don't go down.
It goes down.
It don't go down.
No, it don't.
It do go down.
Oh!
That's amazing. 10 out of 10. Smash like and subscribe. I know where I like. It's clearly people reposting other people's content. Whatever. It's never stopped me before. The Wi-Fi password is on the back of the router. The back of the router. Yeah, why do they always make it so freaking encryptic? So that's the language of the enchantments. Okay, see, I get it now. This is a Minecraft meme. I get it. I don't know about you guys, but I get it. Smash like if you and subscribe and buy the merch if you get it. I am wearing the merch. It's just a little chilly today, okay? Just to make sure. Just to make sure. K-pop fans be like, oh my god, which one's cute? Why does villagers exist and why do they give me nightmares? I developed an AR app from your Minecraft house and put it on the Brighton beach. What the actual frickery? Oh my god, it's the pier. I was literally there yesterday. I didn't see it. What? Oh my god, they're entering. What? Can you guys imagine? Why is the Swedish flag not working? That is weird. Water sheep gets revenge on PewDiePie. Damn, that's creepy. No, not the melons! How could you? I can't believe everyone has my freaking world. No! My diamond! What song is that? Oh my god. Was this literally foreshadowing for after Jack Black? Does this mean Jack Black is water sheep? Stop it. Sven, do something! Worst guard dog. Oh, rest in peace yet again. Stop. Don't you dare touch IKEA tower. No. Delete this right now, Grande. What is this? What flag is that? Too far! Too far! Water sheep is Norwegian? It all makes sense now. No, don't touch Sven. No, no, bruh. I'm shaking. Ah, not young yet. He's already suffered enough. It even has my freaking contraption, dude. How? Not cool, man. Not cool. Guys, I fixed Australia. Dinner bone. I get it now! Thanks, guys. I finally understand the meme. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It took a while, but I finally got there. Only gamers know the real struggle and sacrifice when you're suffering from success.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
God damn it.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Alright, that's a decent meme. I gave a chuckle. I still got my health bar though. Are we still doing that? No, it's Minecraft, okay.
How do I tame a parrot? Oh my
Hey,
God,
look, it's
so
me
cute.
again.
I love you. Oh my God. How do I tame a
Right
parrot?
in front of Sven
Oh my God,
too.
it's so
Come on.
cute.
How did he live through
I
that?
love you. Oh my God.
Oh my God. That is 10 out of 10 editing.
What's your name? Marty McFly.
Oh, I
What
see
are you
this.
about to do?
It's beautiful.
The bomb is Master Hill.
Oh, he ate the cobblestone. Marty McFly Williams. F's in the chat for Marty McFly Williams, boys.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, not the other part, don't!
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
I get it, because you're not supposed to just go in the ender portal. I get it. 90% bug free, 10% of bugs. Good meme, I get it. If I didn't play Minecraft, probably would not understand.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.
Oh my God, again!
My ears
No!
burn. Hey, yo, the pizza here.
Why is this a thing? I'm very confused, but it also made me laugh, and I don't know why. Hey, look, it's me and Marcel. Asian, maybe, edition? Question mark? In the future, of course. Grande, this video is not for the faint-hearted. Well, the last one was painful enough, okay? Let's watch it. Stop. Stop. Oh, God. Hey, at least you got... Oh, come on. Okay. Sure. What else could he possibly do to annoy me? Is that obsidian? Yeah, okay, great. I feel like the Keemstar screaming meme. Stop it, please! Now I truly know what Keemstar was screaming about while playing Minecraft. Oh my gosh. You can't melt obsidian, cringe. What? Nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit. Hey, look, what? I didn't know that worked. Stop! Stop! What can you possibly do with redstone? Of course. How? What? How's that even possible? That made no sense, guys. See, I played Minecraft, and I can honestly tell you guys, this makes no sense. You can't just summon the Wither. He's from Call of Duty Black Ops. Everyone knows that. Stop using my world! How did this happen? Get out! Oh, gosh damn it. Don't touch Sven. Don't you dare. Okay, good. Good.
God damn it. My mom, my Dan. See, there it is. There's a screaming Keemstar. He lives in all of us. See, everyone loves Minecraft. It brings people together. It makes you have a good time. And not worry about all that petty BS. Look at that. If they can get along with Minecraft, then we all can. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Smash like, subscribe, buy the merch, which I am wearing. And I see you guys next time. Bye! What? You never played Tuber Simulator? You know it's fun, right? I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but give it a try, and then you can tell me if it's good or not. Not convinced yet? Okay. I'll cut you a deal. The game is available for free, and that's a great price.
It's finally done. The LMG LAN Center and Employee Lounge is finished. Just in time for us to need to dismantle it and move it upstairs. We have more construction happening, but you know what? We're gonna enjoy it while we can. And I'm gonna take you guys on the deluxe grand tour. Wait, am I allowed to say grand tour? You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's go. Oh, wait. After this word from our sponsor, Smart Deploy. Smart Deploy allows IT departments to re-image unlimited computer models from one golden image. Search their library and grab your exclusive free licenses worth over $700 at smartdeploy.com/Linus. Man, guys, this project has been so long in the works that I don't even know where to begin or where to end. So let's start at the beginning. This is, in fact, platform 9 3/4. Jake was in charge of all the signage for the lounge, so if you guys like it, then mad props to him. Oh, did you help, Vaughn? Oh, did you do all of it? Okay. It's so nerdy, I assumed it was Jake. Oh, you did pick the art. Oh, okay, so my assumption was then not that incorrect. So guys, there's the stuff that's done now, which is everything that we promised in the original plan, and then there's the future plan. So we've actually got a server cabinet sitting here for maybe, no guarantees, because we had some issues with our last multi-users one CPU project, but maybe we're gonna switch all the gaming machines over to like, I don't know, Blade servers or something, or like virtualized machines, and then we'll run like 100 gig networking over to the server room or something. Probably not, but for now we had nowhere else to put this thing, so that's where it goes. We have finally done all the artwork for the back of the LAN center right here, including, this is freaking awesome. So this was a joint project. Jake, Alex, if I recall correctly, Matthias, and Lloyd all contributed to this. So it's an RGB backlit LTT logo. We had actually intended to do something a little bit bigger, but this was as big as our CNC router goes anyway, so hey, there you go. Next up is, of course, the gaming PCs. So it's finally finished, the 12-person LAN setup. I had originally wanted 16, but I got talked into 12. It's pretty darn awesome. And these are about as good as it gets, except for there have actually been some recent changes to what qualifies as the best hardware out there in the last little bit, but that's okay. This was the best we could get at the time anyway. I cannot figure out how to open this door. Did this one move? Why is it not opening? So we did a stream building these things a little while back, and we covered all the specs there, but I don't blame you guys for not watching that. It was about 4 hours long, but this is pretty much as good as makes sense. So not as good as it gets, but pretty freaking awesome. So for our monitors, we went with ASUS's PG279Qs. These are 2560 by 1440, 144 Hz G-Sync displays, freaking awesome experience. We've got Logitech's Brio 4K for our webcams. So anyone who wants to come in here and stream after work, I know Colton has actually already done a couple of, you've already done a couple streams from here, right?
Yeah, buddy.
How'd that go for you?
Pretty good.
Other than when I disconnected your Ethernet cable in the middle of it, right? Yeah, that's cool. So that's the only problem with streaming from here. For our peripherals, we've gone full Logitech because let's face it, they make freaking awesome stuff. So most of them, I believe, are equipped with G Pro wirelesses, which is, are they all G Pro wireless? Fantastic. Then for our keyboards, we've gone with their G513 with their Roam or G switches. Our headsets, we actually have a variety of headsets, but this one is a G933. For the systems themselves, we actually ended up going with Ryzen 2700Xs because the reality of it is, guys, our crystal ball wasn't any better than anyone else's, and we didn't know that Ryzen 3rd Gen was going to be such a punch in the chops for the entire rest of the industry. If we'd known, we probably would have put this off another 6 weeks, but hey, that's what happens when you get a new PC. You win some, you lose some. We also ended up with RTX 2070s from ASUS rather than the new super ones, because once again, we got blindsided there. Hooking us up with the rest of the internals of our machines, it's pretty much the Corsair show. We do have an ASUS TUF B450M Plus gaming motherboard, but we are cooled by Corsair. We've got RGB memory courtesy of Corsair. Our cases are Corsair. And of course, the RGB lighting, including their gorgeous light loop fans, which are a key component of any gaming system, are, well, there's nothing more Corsair than a case full of RGB fans at this point in time, I don't think. For the finishing touches, Seasonic hooked us up with 1,000-watt power supplies, totally overkill, but whatever, Seasonic, it's cool anyway. And Cable Mod gave us their cable extensions so they'll all look straight up legit. Speaking of legit, not everyone is that into PC gaming. So, a really important thing for us when we created the lounge was to make sure that everyone would have something to do. Oh, these are the microphones, by the way, for streaming. These are Blue Yeti Nanos. Nano, right? And we've got a huge collection of board games. I've actually only had a chance to play a small handful of these, but this Azul game is actually surprisingly fun. My son had an absolute blast with that one, to the point where I'm kind of bored of it now, but he still really likes it. Funnily enough though, the PC LAN portion of the lounge hasn't been the most popular one. It's actually the console gaming section that has been getting most of the attention. So this up here is one of IlluneVision's 4K reference screens, and it does more than just stay super flat and give you a great image. Honestly, guys, this looks kind of washed out, but that is not fair and not representative. We have filming lights set up in the room. It looks fantastic, even with the lights on in other parts of the room normally. But the really cool trick is that you can actually retract the whole thing, and it will reveal a 120 Hertz 4K Omen gaming display from HP if 60 Hertz is not enough for you. I'm so sorry, Taryn. I had to show the feature. I'm putting it back now.
I died for that. It's just like the Nintendo.
The sound system was graciously provided by Klipsch. We've got a 5.1.2 sound system hooked up to our Sony receiver that sounds absolutely fantastic. Whether you're watching movies, my wife and I actually came here late one night on a weekend, hung out, watched a movie. It was freaking awesome. Or you're playing games on the PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. Now, one of the key components of any console gaming setup is, of course, controllers. So we've got our Nintendo Switch down here, skinned by dbrand, by the way. Massive thanks to dbrand for that. And a way to manage all of our input devices. So this was set up by Jake, and the skinned controllers were graciously provided by dbrand. But for our PlayStation 4 Pro, we've got 4 controllers on these really convenient, like, quick connect charging pads here. One pro tip, by the way, guys, if you value your controllers, let them charge, then put them aside, because you don't want the batteries to sit being fully charged all the time. And we've got 4 controllers for the Xbox One X. We've got our Vive controllers with this handy dandy. Check this out. So did you find this on Thingiverse, Jake? Thingiverse. So Jake found this on Thingiverse. and it's just a 3D printed holster for your Vive controllers where you can put the original cables in here and then just slot them in order to charge them. Pretty freaking sick. Finally, of course, guys, we've got a full 8 controller setup for the Switch, so if we want to get some 8-player Smash going in here in the future, that'll be totally an option. Next up, we've got the gaming desk. So this is where apparently Jake is ripping open a pack of cards to pretend to play Go Fish.
It's supposed to look like we're doing things, all right?
You can't play Go Fish with a fresh deck. This is the pizza that I bribed everyone with to come in and be here so that is it all gone?
Well, a bunch of people showed up and they didn't say they were coming, so.
Of course, the one with the spinach is the one that everyone leaves for me. Thanks, guys. Also finally fixed is the arcade machine that Anthony built. I think as one of his first long-term projects here at Linus Media Group. At least it's mostly fixed. Okay, this one still needs probably an afternoon of work or so, but that's where it goes in the layout. Then over here, we've got the counter where people are expected to microwave their food, take it to the table, eat it, and nothing more, and never leave any garbage here. We will see how long that lasts. Our final finishing touch is, of course, our Madrina's refrigerator that, no offense to Madrina's, but this thing isn't great. It's pretty loud. We're probably gonna get rid of it at some point. Now, I was gonna skip over it, but Jake insisted that I mention the projector. Now, we actually did a sponsored video on this thing. This is ViewSonic's 4K, but like, not really using the true 4K Texas Instruments chipset. It's like using pixel shift to kind of upscale it or something. And we weren't that impressed with it at the time, but what we've realized is that the problem was just that we were pointing it at an inflatable screen, so it didn't really look that great. In this setup, we've been really, really impressed with it. Did we just blow a breaker?
I told them they're all plugged into the same circuit.
What? You guys are? Why would you do that?
I didn't do that. Did you plug in extra lights?
Okay, there's still some things for us to sort out here. Anyway, we've been really impressed with this thing. It looks really sharp, and the input lag is not that bad. Like, I remember it wasn't that long ago that playing games on a projector was absolutely not a thing, but it's been quite enjoyable on here, and people have been playing a lot of Smash. Actually, in the interest of fairness here, we should turn off these lights and show you guys what it looks like when it's actually dark. Man, that looks good.
I don't know, how to refill my ink. How do I do it?
The last piece, of course, is the ping pong table, but due to the forest of lights that we have over here to light this area up and shoot this video, we can't really have it deployed. Usually it's intended to be more like dark and, you know, man cavey, but hey, we gotta make videos too, right? The new Force B Sport 3 earbuds feature 10 hours of battery life, a 10-meter Bluetooth range, durable construction with metal and polycarbonate materials, an IPX5 rating, so they're workout ready with sweat and water resistance. They support AAC and aptX for better sound quality, and their twin blade spin fit ear tips mean you should be able to get a perfect fit. They come in gunmetal gray or rose gold, and for the month of July and the first week of August, they're just $34.90 instead of $59 on Amazon. Check them out at the link in the video description. So, huge thanks for watching, guys, and a big thanks to everyone who made this project possible. I'm gonna try and list them all, but I don't stand a chance. So Jake and Yvonne were the biggest contributors from our team. Of course, everyone helped at some stage or another because we had to build all these PCs, move all these couches. It was a crazy long project. And then from there, oh man, you got AMD, Asus, Corsair, they were absolutely instrumental. D-Brand, Logitech. Logitech was absolutely huge. Seasonic was a huge sponsor for this. Who else was like really heavily involved, if I can only name the biggest ones? Klipsch, yeah, that audio system is freaking awesome. Corsair. Yeah, I called out Corsair. And of course, you guys for being patient with us as we've worked on this whole thing, and then are gonna be patient with us again as we move the whole thing upstairs, and then we'll probably do a tour again. It wouldn't be the stupidest thing we've ever done. So if you guys disliked it, you can hit that button, but if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, or maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured at the link in the video description. That is gonna be quite a chore, Jake, getting links for all this stuff in the video description.
I think we just don't.
I think we do. Also down there is our merch store, which has cool shirts like this one, and our community forum, which you should totally join. Recently, it was brought to my attention that some of my friends in the industry went out looking for a high-speed server for storing and editing their high-res video without checking in with me. Now, I am far from the lone authority when it comes to this stuff, so it's not like it's impossible to build something really awesome without my help. Snazzy Labs managed it just fine. It's just also pretty easy to get completely taken for a ride. And when I saw how much iJustine, MKBHD, and Jonathan from TLD paid for their jellyfish, well, I wasn't mad, I was just hurt and disappointed. I mean, guys, here's the thing. With the exception of TLD, I actually didn't build him anything, but for the others of you, I put together reliable mass storage for you because that was what you said you wanted. If you had just told me you want high performance at any cost, come on guys, it's me. I got your back. So, I've channeled all of that frustration into today's video, where in collaboration with our special guest, Patrick from Serve the Home, great site by the way, worth checking out after the video, Serve the Home, I'll be creating what I call the Jellyfish Fryer. A faster, more reliable, and just plain better solution. Summer break just started, but it's never too early to start looking for a new laptop for back to school. Every Origin PC laptop is ready for whatever games or school projects you're gonna tackle, and you can check out their special deals at the link below. So yeah, guys, those numbers you saw at the beginning of this video, that was no typo. That was correct. A 120 terabyte jellyfish costs its lucky owner about $35,000 US. And that's assuming that they don't require LumaForge's vague performance boost option or more than a handful of video editors connected to it. But the thing is, it gets even crazier than that. Not only does a 120 terabyte jellyfish not actually have 120 terabytes of usable capacity, it's closer to 80 by the time you account for the storage space that's lost to redundancy and the about 10% of extra reserved space that LumaForge has left to ensure that ZFS functions correctly. Now, here's the thing. This pricing might not offend me so much if there was something magical about the jellyfish, like, I don't know, if it used Intel Ruler NVMe SSDs and it fit into like a ruggedized case that you could throw on your back as you're slogging through the jungle on an on-location shoot, or something like that. But it's not special. And to put it in context, not only was I able to kludge together a solution that matches their pricing, I was able to do it while still overpaying for my server. The 45 drive Stornado is not cheap, and I outfitted it with all solid state drives instead of mechanical ones at the same usable capacity. And you don't even have to be a tech expert to build something like this. Because we went with an off-the-shelf bare-bones server, most of the work was done. All I had to do was spend about 15 minutes shucking the drives from their packaging and popping them in here. I did a separate video. And with 27 of these 3.84 terabyte Iron Wolf 110 NAS SSDs, I've got over 100 terabytes of raw, solid state storage ready to go. So from there, all that was left to do was phone a friend to show us the right way to configure it, because is it correct to say that configuring an SSD-based NAS is not the same as a hard drive-based NAS?
That's 100% true.
All right, so do you want to introduce yourself then?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Patrick from Serve the Home. We started STH 10 years ago, building solutions just like this. And now we review server storage and networking hardware all the way from scrappy DIY, eBay stuff, all the way up to high-end six-figure plus enterprise gear.
So I kind of assumed that we would be using FreeNAS. But in addition to that, you came with a bit of a trick up your sleeve, right?
I did.
Okay, why don't we begin though with the basic install?
Sure. Okay, so FreeNAS installer, super easy. It actually automatically does this, so you don't really need to do anything. And you get some really kind of old looking ASCII.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like gaming 30 years ago.
So what we'll do is we're gonna select 2 drives for our boot drives.
So these are the 250 gig SSDs that shipped with our Stornado.
They are. And then we're gonna go fancy and we're gonna do a fresh install. Would you like to put a password in, sir?
Sure.
Make it easy.
Password, serve the home. Now that we're booted up and we're in the GUI, we can start to configure our server. And yes, it's more complicated than a jellyfish, but I mean, I think it's fair to say, what are we at, like 50 clicks
Less
so
than
far?
that, definitely.
Less than that. It's really not that hard. Now, we'll go into a little bit more detail about how we're configuring this drives, and Patrick will probably talk about it in a blog post later on in the video, but for now, once this is done, the big thing we need to do is apply that special script, which is going to do a couple of things. Number one is it's going to apply some SSD-specific optimizations that FreeNAS intends to include in the next version of their software, but that for now, they've backported into this version for us to do this video. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to change the way that these 4 10 gigabit network ports on the back function to be more like a jellyfish. So this is basically sacrilegious in the networking world, but the way we want this to work is such that if I were to take a network cable, plug it into the back of my NAS, and then plug the other end into, let's say, like a Thunderbolt 10 gig network adapter and a laptop, I could just connect directly to this thing like it's a big old, gigantic, high-performance USB drive. Now, that's not the typical way you would do things.
No, it's definitely not.
And what was the reaction you got from industry professionals when you asked them to do this?
Well, my first reaction when we talked about it was I said, wait, you want to do what? So for 20 plus years, the industry has said, no, you use switches, and those switches allow you to scale out and use more clients. You can have more security features. I mean, it is the way that you handle this type of situation when you have a high performance storage and multiple clients.
So I'm going to give the counter argument to that, because the way that I see it, when you're dealing with a techie person or a sysadmin type person on site that's managing, let's say, a video production, sure, switches are the way to go, no doubt about it. But if you've got people that are accustomed to just plugging in an external drive and working off of their laptop, well, I'd say that it's not crazy to imagine that it's far lower friction to say, look, it works exactly the way you're used to. You plug in one cable, and you have access to your storage, except instead of a Thunderbolt cable, you use this weird thing. So that's it. We've got a healthy 26 drive RAID Z2 with a hot spare, so in the event that any one of those drives fails, it starts rebuilding it immediately, and you might notice that capacity looks a little low, 77.91 TIB, so those are TB bytes. If we convert that to terabytes, that's actually 85.6 terabytes. So we are coming in right around the same capacity as the jellyfish for actually a slightly lower price, because we're like $900 less or something like that. Okay, we should be ready to connect directly to the back of our NAS here, transfer some files, do some video editing. Wow. You can look at that, even with the 8-core Core i9, you still spike it when you're just opening up a project like this. And wow, we peaked at around 2.5 gigabit per second. So scrubbing is actually not that demanding as we go through this 8K footage here. So we're sitting right in the neighborhood of 1.5 to 2 gigabit per second while playing back. Looks like it settled in a little bit lower than that. Let's speed up our playback. That's gonna hurt ya. Okay, so it's not a terribly impressive demo because it's just one 4K stream, but the NAS works. I think we need to kick this up a notch.
We do.
So we just completed our 12 machine LAN center. These are all Ryzen 2700Xs. They've all got 10 gig LAN, and we're gonna grab ourselves a few quad 10 gigabit NICs, connect all of them at the same time, and see just how many video streams we can do. All right, so there it is, 4 Ethernet cables, and theoretically, We fire this up, and we have access to it. We fire this up. Well, that'll help. We fire this up, and we'll have access to it. So we've got 3 links running through our switch down there that are in an LACP group, so that's basically link aggregation. So that's for a total of 40 gigabit plus 40 plus 40, so that would be 120 gigabit. So that is effectively the same as if we had 3 of those quad ports and they were just plugged directly into the back of the computers. Then all of our machines are plugged into the switch, and we've loaded up Adobe Premiere trials on each one of these machines with the intention of hitting all 12 of them at once and seeing just how many 4K video streams our server can handle. So Jake, oh, you're already on it. Look at him go. These young kids today, they got so much energy, you know? So just as a recap here, guys, this is 16 MPEG-2 files that were encoded at 100 megabit per second. So that would be comparable to what you would record in the 4K high quality preset on something like an A7S II. Now, you can see here that this is a freaking lot of bandwidth, especially when we have a lot of motion across all the clips, and we can spike as high as 4 to even 5 gigabit per second. And that's while we are just playing back. Never mind if we want to scrub through the footage. If we scrub through the footage, we are actually going to be able to saturate our 10 gigabit link here. So you can see I'm sitting in the 9 to 9.5 range. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? But performance is still smooth. This is actually a shockingly good editing experience. This is it, moment of truth. You ready?
Are you just doing that one?
No, I'm gonna do all of them.
Oh.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2. Oh, crap, this one's at 1/4 res.
Oh, they're all at 1/4 res.
Dang it, no, 1/4 res is not good enough for us. Okay.
Changing the res. Start.
So all 6 of mine are going. Are we dropping frames or is it smooth?
Looks pretty damn smooth to me.
It's looking pretty smooth to me.
Okay, so I got our overall feed here.
Nice, nice. How we doing?
Just a casual 25 gigabit.
25 gigabit. I think we can do better. So one challenge that we've got is that while we'd love to just throw more video streams at each one of these machines, we're up against a technical limit within Adobe Premiere where it only allows 16 sources for this multicam setup, and also up against a CPU limit. So our CPU is actually sitting anywhere from around 70 up to 90% as we're going through and playing back all of these files. So clearly we can't just throw more streams per machine. But what we can do to hit our network harder is scrub all the machines. So I think we need some helpers. Okay, so thank you, gentlemen. The test here is simple. We are trying to suck as much bandwidth as we possibly can from the video server sitting on this chair over here. Now, we're playing back 16 100 megabit streams per machine as it is, but that's not enough. That's only about 25 to 27 gigabit.
Child's play.
Child's play. So if we scrub through the footage, we can get each of these machines to pull about 9 to 9.5 gigabit. And we want to see just how hard we can make it hurt. Okay, so I'm peaking at around 4 gigabit per second on each of mine.
And we're looking at about 40 gigabit overall. So I think our link aggregation.
Our link aggregation is not working.
It's not working.
All right, so the good news is we managed to play 184 4K video streams off of our server, and we managed even to scrub around through them during that process. The bad news is that it looks like unless we can get link aggregation working properly, it would in fact be better to go straight out with 10 gigabit connections to each of the computers. I just didn't feel like spending the couple $1,000s on a bunch of those quad 10 gig cards. So we're gonna call this good enough for now. So that's a pretty cool demo if you're into editing video off of a shared storage resource. And it's actually pretty similar to the one that LumaForge used when they launched the Jellyfish, just bigger and badder because it's all flash and somehow at the same price. But we haven't even addressed some of the other really cool things about this configuration yet. So LumaForge is using 2 striped RAID Z2s. So that's kind of like RAID 60. So a stripe of RAID 6s. And that means that they can suffer anywhere from 2 to 4 physical drive failures before they lose any data. Now, we can only take 2 drive failures and then a third, assuming that one of them manages to rebuild with our hot spare. So 1 to 3 over time. That's kind of similar, I guess. But the story is a little bit more nuanced than that. So Patrick, you guys have a calculator that people can use to calculate what the expected time to data loss is for a particular configuration. And what did we come out at with this one right here?
Yeah, this one, we basically had less than a 0.02% chance to have it fail over the next 10 years. So we think it's pretty reliable. And part of that is really just the fact that the hard drives are a lot slower than the SSDs when it comes to rebuild, which means that even if a drive fails, your array spends less time in a degraded and vulnerable state than if you're using hard drives.
A couple other advantages of SSDs are that these ones are about 100 times less likely to read a bit incorrectly compared to even reliable hard drives, and they've got some other practical advantages too. No vibration, no noise, and if you're on the go, like you're, if you were to put something like mechanical hard drives on the back of a Jeep in the jungle for an on-location shoot, that is a super bad idea, and this wouldn't be nearly as vulnerable to those kinds of vibrations, which, by the way, yes, do kill drives. You were telling a story about Yahoo a little while ago.
Oh yeah, Yahoo a long time ago actually put drives on storage arrays that were going across the parking lot. And one of the things they found was that when they got the systems powered up and the drives powered up on the other end, they had a big problem with drive failures. And the reason for that was that those carts were actually using solid casters, and that caused so much vibration that the hard drives ended up failing. So that's like a good example of why hard drives, even though they're generally reliable, even if they get a little bit shaken up while they're powered off, a lot less reliable than solid state drives in that scenario.
So, we're not actually necessarily done yet. We had some further optimization ideas. I mean, Patrick really, really wants to use a switch. Because as we saw, unless you have a ton of streams coming into a single machine, you're nowhere near 10 gigabit needed for each individual station. But that's gonna come down to how the user wants to use it. For now, we were trying to just go after, well, here, you can have this, but DIY. We could also get better performance and lower power consumption by using more modern CPUs. Caching was something that we talked about, and it's something that LumaForge actually offers as a performance boost option for the Jellyfish. They add an Optane write cache, with some more RAM, and then we think maybe faster CPUs. They wouldn't confirm that for me, for an extra $3,500. But you recommended against using something like an Optane write cache for an all SSD-based machine. Can you explain why that is?
Yeah, so you tend to use caching drives, especially when you're going to hard drive. And the idea was you have something that's faster than hard drives, that's able to absorb random reads, random writes.
And then smooth it out so it's more sequential.
Right. So it's more sequential and better for the way that hard drives like to be accessed. But solid state drives are different than hard drives, and because of that, you tend not to put as much caching in front of solid state arrays. And so in this case, we just didn't think that we needed it.
All right, so we maybe aren't quite done, but that is it for today. But the sort of wrap up for this video is a bit long, but it's also really important, so try not to tune out, guys. We did this video for a couple of reasons. One was to demystify some of the marketing mumbo jumbo that goes on with solutions like the Jellyfish. Compatible with Mac, Linux, and PC. What does that even mean? Of course it is. It's a commodity NAS running free open source software. But the other reason was to acknowledge that while we do prefer to do things our way, that doesn't mean that our way is right for everyone. And in fact, even between the two of us and IX system support staff, we still ran into a few hiccups today. So then I actually reached out to Marquez MKBHD to send over a couple short clips explaining why the jellyfish has been great for him.
What's up, Linus? MKBHD here. So there were a couple things that the jellyfish did specifically in the MKBHD studio to make our lives easier. The setup being one of the biggest ones. So this thing was out the box and operational within 90 seconds. Like, it had all the drives installed already, everything was fresh out the box. All we really had to do was install the Jellyfish app on every computer that we wanted it to be on. That's 3 in my case. Plug it in, hit the on button, and everything set itself up. And then we actually had some assistance from the LumaForge team as far as setting it up to make sure it would work perfectly with Final Cut Pro projects, so workflow tips essentially. So they definitely went above and beyond with that. But really, truly, the beauty of it was going from not having any solution for working on videos at the same time to the next day having one and being able to edit, close a project on one machine, open it up on the other, and keep going. That was something we were able to do very quickly and seamlessly because of the jellyfish. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to spending a bit more for a better overall solution for us than better hardware, it can look a lot like the car enthusiast market. Like, some people will buy a certain type of car because they know that will be a great tuner and they'll be able to get more horsepower out of it and work on it and get better numbers. But they know that's more time they're gonna spend because that's their hobby. But some people just wanna drive to work every day and back and grocery shopping and pick up the kids, and it just needs to be reliable, and they will spend more on a car that's new just to do that. And they can go to the dealer if something breaks down for convenience to fix it. And that may seem lazy to the first person, but that's just the way it is. That's what the jellyfish is. So I am fully aware that there are buildable solutions out there that will do better numbers and better read-write speeds and things like that. Probably even a better looking box than the jellyfish, but we've been too busy editing videos off of it to think about any of that. So that's where we're coming from.
So in defense of LumaForge then, it's easy to use. When I called them, they picked up the phone immediately. They offer a support plan with next day replacement drives so that 2 years down the road, you don't have to remember all the IPs of everything and how to do anything. Like, companies like this do need to charge a premium so they can continue to provide support. They offer a complete package so you can just forget about it. Like, you're not buying a box, you're buying a solution. And in fairness to them, the hardware that they're shipping is not actual garbage. It's not one of those things where they're charging an enterprise price for, like a sticker that they applied to something consumer grade. Like, they're using ZFS, they're using CentOS. This is truly good stuff. Their connector and manager is really simple to use. If you have to set up a new share or something, there's no command line required. And also, here's a crazy thing. If you go to a major tier 1 storage vendor, would you say that the pricing of the jellyfish is unheard of or ludicrous?
It's perfectly in line with what you would see from a big vendor, and they usually have great margins and they provide that solution and great support.
Furthermore, another thing people don't consider, and I talked about this recently on WAN Show, but in the film and production industry, this kind of pricing is not about the hardware that you're getting, it's more about the value that it provides. Like, the amount of money that you're spending might be outrageous, but given the amount of money that you will make if it works correctly, and the amount of money you might lose if it doesn't work correctly, maybe it's not that outrageous after all. Now, we aren't gonna be doing it that way as long as building our own machine is still possible, but hey, I felt like I had to say it anyway. Speaking of things I have to say, the Neighbors app by Ring, yep, that's the same Ring that makes video doorbells, is all about helping you stop feeling like you're alone when it comes to your security. It allows you to receive real-time information on what's happening around you from other users. So you can put out an alert if you see something suspicious, like a possible burglar. You can send a notice if you lost something valuable, like your pet. And you can even give or receive a warning if a disaster is coming your way, like a fire or a flood. Ring partners up with local law enforcement to stop crime sprees, and right now, it's available in the US only, but more countries are coming soon. Users have full control of what information is made publicly available to protect your privacy from both other users and law enforcement, and it's free to use and download. It's available for Android and iOS today, so go check it out. So thanks for watching, guys. Massive thanks to Patrick from Serve the Home. Guys, go check him out. Go buy one of these trucker hats on their merch store. Do you guys have a merch store?
We don't even have a merch store.
You don't even sell them.
No, these are limited edition.
So this is like exclusive.
This is exclusive.
Check it. All right. So thanks to you guys for watching. Thanks to Patrick for coming out here. If you guys like this video, hit that like button, get subscribed, or maybe consider checking out where to buy the stuff we featured in the video description. We were really happy with the Stornado, as well as our Iron Wolf NAS SSDs. We're gonna have links to those down there. Also linked down there is our merch store, which has cool shirts like this. Remember hard drives? I remember. Like this, as well as our Linus Tech Tips Stealth hoodie. All right, finally, go join our forum. That's down there too. Oh, what? I'm like, Anthony, just make sure you tell me when you press the button, so when it starts, I'm not just standing here looking like an idiot. But clearly totally unintentional. So this is something that I am actually pretty excited to open up. Now, here's the funny thing. When Intel launched their, I don't even know what exactly they're calling this platform, like, because it's not their workstation platform. That's on LGA 2066. And it's certainly not a server platform because that is on LGA 3647, but it uses different chipsets, it uses different chips, you can do dual socket and all that stuff. This is the weird in between. When Intel launched what's inside this box, they actually completely left us out of the party. I didn't even know that they had brought it to market yet until I saw videos and articles from other people, and I was like, hey, so you guys launched the overclockable 28-core processor, huh? And they're like, yep. And I was like, oh, well, we would have loved to do a review of that. And they were like, oh, really? It didn't really seem like your style. And I was like, what? What are you doing? No. No, actually, I kept myself very calm and collected. And, you know, it was all very dignified, everything. Anyway, the point is, we are righting this wrong, and we have gotten our hands on the new Xeon W, what is it, 3175, Anthony? Is that? 3175X. Excuse me, I meant 3175X. But the thing about this product is that Intel apparently doesn't trust people to, like, use it properly. So they have gone as far as to not just send over the CPU, but even send over a completely built system with the CPU integrated into it for our use. So we are gonna go ahead and we are gonna open this up and we are gonna have my first hands-on experience with the 3175X. After I tell you guys about our sponsor for the day, Massdrop. Massdrop. Not a drop, not a drop, just a fling. Wow. Okay. You would have thought I staged that, but actually this is here so we can make sure we have the right motherboard in our system later. Getting my composure here, excuse me. I'm good. Massdrop. Massdrop is featuring the Hi-Fi-Man HE4XX headphones. So these are planar magnetic headphones, and Hi-Fi-Man basically requires no introduction. They have a fantastic reputation for building high-quality headphones that sound absolutely fantastic at a fair price. They've got this nice, comfortable velour on the inside of the ear cups here. We're not going to get a chance to get B-roll, David, so do you have that? Very nice. And we've got nice soft padding on the wide headband for nice even weight distribution. These are an open-backed headphone, so you can expect really nice spatial awareness in case, you know, someone's calling you or whatever else, and beautiful stereo imaging. So you guys can check these out at the link to Massdrop in the video description. Okay. Now, let's move on. So this is one of those situations where I kind of wish that we had prepared for the stream at all, rather than just pulling this off the pallet and then getting started. Because if I'd known that this was like a box within a box on top of a box situation, I might have removed one of the boxes, so we don't have to wait so long, but Intel clearly wasn't taking any chances that this would get damaged in shipping. So they have gone ahead and they have double packed it on top of shipping it inside a crate rather than via traditional courier. This is a fun one. I'm really not sure what the rationale was here, but even on the inside box, okay? Make sure you handle that with care, okay? Yeah, I guess, yeah, is that just a message to me directly? Very subtle, you guys. All right. Okay, so we've got some accessories here. This looks like the cables from an EVGA power supply, including one of those ever so beefy, dang it, I forget what, C19 I want to say? I want to say C19 connectors. Can't remember, doesn't matter. Some modular power cables for the inside of the system. Okay, an included copy of Windows, RGB control for the system. They got their priorities straight. Let's go ahead and tip this down again. Oh. Dang it. What's that? It's fragile, right. Well, the box isn't fragile. The box is fine. Okay. All the packing materials. Here we go. This thing is so friggin' heavy. And the crazy part is that I don't get this. They shipped an entire dual, either 120 or dual 140 millimeter liquid cooling system separately. So am I expected to install the cooler myself? I mean, like, that's fine. I'm fully capable of installing a water cooler. I just mean if you were going to go to the trouble of pre-building the system for reviewers, I would say that installing like a custom grade CPU water cooler like this is probably about as difficult as it gets. So maybe ow. The air's really dry here right now. Just got zapped. Okay. Oh boy. I could have read all the notes that Intel sent over on this, but I figured Anthony's right there. He's read the notes. He can tell me if I miss anything super important. Sorry, everyone. Rip all the users of the HE4XX and really anything else with nice, accurate sound reproduction, because that noise was truly spectacularly awful. All right. So this is actually going to be my first look at Gigabyte's board for Intel's, I guess we would call, why don't we call it, what do we want to call it? High-end workstation? Yeah, I guess. Is that what we're going to do now? Because, like, the thing is, you've got your consumer, which is on LGA 1150, whatever we're on now. 55 right now? Can't remember. It was 56, then 50, 51, 50, I don't know, it's one of those. So you've got your 11.5X consumer platform. You've got your 20XX, HEDT, high-end desktop platform. Then you've got entry-level workstations on LGA 2066. Then we've got, Hughes, high-end workstation on 3167. So that is probably why, where should I put this tempered glass? I don't want this to break. I'm gonna put it inside this box. That seems safe. So this is probably why Intel included a new cooler for me. Do you guys want me to install it on stream? I mean, I guess if we're streaming the experience here, we might as well do it, because this is a very kludged together looking solution right here. So what makes this platform stand out from the other ones in Intel's lineup? Well, there are a couple of things. First and foremost, it uses an entirely different socket. So as I alluded to before, this is LGA 3647. So that is like, what, 50% more pins than 2066? More than 50% more pins. Now, What are they doing with all of those pins? I'm glad you asked. So a couple of things. Number one is they need more power because LGA 3647 at this time goes up to 28 processing cores as opposed to 18 processing cores in the low-end workstation, high-end desktop socket LGA 2066. The other thing that these extra pins do is handle the additional memory channels that are available to this CPU. So when you have all those cores, you need a ton of memory bandwidth in order to keep them all fed. So you can see here, we've got 6 memory sticks installed, but we've also got an additional 6 available DDR4 memory slots. So this is a 6-channel memory controller. Not quite as many as AMD has on EPYC, but you know, hey, who's keeping count anyway? All right, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, this is fun. So everything about this motherboard is basically supersized. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull this graphics card for now, just so that we can get a bit of a better look at it. So the socket is actually pretty much, takes up the entire area under that copper plate there. And I'll talk through this cooling solution and why it's not really that great once I've popped it off. But the socket is like, I don't know, 5 or 6x the size of a consumer socket. The board itself, actually, Anthony, can I ask a favor of you? Can you stop monitoring the stream for like 30 seconds and grab me an ATX board? Just like that blue PCB Intel one that's in the little like paper thing full of motherboards. You know, just the slidey thing? Yeah. Just like one of those would be great. Is this gonna come out? I swear I have undone the screw. Okay, there it goes. All right. So the motherboard is supersized. A standard ATX board would be about from here to here, down to here, and then would contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 expansion slots. Now, this one also has 7 expansion slots, except for one critical difference. There's actually a gap of 3 expansion slots between where the I/O would normally end on a standard motherboard, an ATX motherboard, and where the PCI Express expansion would begin. But all that space is getting taken up because here, thank you. Check this out. ATX motherboard for scale. This, all the way over here. This is still motherboard, folks. It is like double the size. So here's another thing that's taking up Mondo space. On a standard motherboard, this area up here, kind of in between the CPU socket and the top, and then in between the CPU socket and the I/O of the board, is typically reserved for your VRM. So that's where you take your 12-volt DC that's coming out of your power supply, and you turn it into nice, clean, stable power at the voltage that your particular CPU requires. Well, that space wasn't enough, and instead, this entire segment of the board, all the way along the top with this gigantic heat pipe cooler and 4 cooling fans on it, is the VRM. That, my friends, is exactly how much power Intel expects could be consumed by this CPU. Now, the thing is that this socket exists in the server space where motherboards really do just have about this much PCB space dedicated for VRM. So what's the deal here? It's because of the overclocking. So those boards are intended to run CPUs that are just running within spec. There's going to be world record sub-zero overclockers fooling around with these things, so they needed to make sure that they were beefy enough to handle multiple times over, potentially, the power draw of what you'd get even with a 28-core Xeon running on a standard server. What else is exceptional about this thing? I'm actually going to start pulling it out. So, oh man, where do we even start with this? They've gone and kind of cable managed everything. Okay, why don't we find out what else we're dealing with here? So we've got a 1080 Ti. Oh, we're going to need to replace that. We're going to need something 2080 Ti class by the time we fire this up, right, Anthony? Yeah, probably, but not just yet. I've got one in my office that we can actually borrow from my bench. I was working on the 8K red footage video today. You know what? I know why this. Sorry, everyone. I know why this is so heavy. I'm going to go ahead and pull the tempered glass panel off the back here. So between these 2 tempered glass panels, this thing just weighs way too much. It's way too much. Get it? Way too much mass.
You're fired.
You can't fire me! You can't fire me because I already fired me. That joke was terrible. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and pop this over here. Yeah, that's really, really heavy. David, do you promise not to trip over this if I put it here?
Promises are for
Okay, all right. I'm gonna put it up here then. It's probably fine. Probably fine. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at what all they installed in this thing. Oh, there's some pretty fun hardware in there. So they threw in one of the U.2 versions of their 905P series Optane SSDs. So that looks like it's going to be our boot drive down there. We've got EVGA's Supernova 1600 T2. That's an 80 plus titanium 1600 watt power supply. Of course, all the fans and everything are hooked up. So this must be like one of their demo systems, because even though it's got, you know, some pretty nice hardware and decent cable management and everything, like it doesn't have the I/O shield or anything like that in. So this has got to be like an early sample board. This is a funny thing to me. You've got so many PCI Express lanes. So these things are equipped with, is it 48, Anthony?
Yeah, 48.
48. So 48 PCI Express Gen 3 lanes, but there's almost none of it dedicated to I/O here. And I remember noticing this about one of ASUS's early engineering, like prototype grade boards for this platform. But a lot of the time what you'll see on like repurposed server hardware for desktop use is you'll see like gaps like this, where stuff that wouldn't make sense on the desktop, like VGA and like a serial port, might just get left off, and then the gaps on the PCB are just left so that they don't have to redesign that for what is definitely going to be a very, very low volume part. They only have to redesign the parts of the board that they actually need to change, and then they'll just reuse other stuff. So I think that's why we ended up with really bare bones I/O on this particular board. At least that's one theory. Like, I don't actually know for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and start popping things off here. So note as we go, all the connectors I'm removing. So that is 2 6-pin PCI Express connectors going into the motherboard right there. Those are for, apparently, they're OC PEG_1. Now, I don't know if those are for high power draw graphics cards being in here, because you could put up to 4 graphics cards in here. And remember, even though 4-way SLI is dead as of, I think 2 generations ago or whenever it was, overclockers are still able to enable it for certain benchmarks. So I don't know if these are for that or if they're extra power for the CPU. I would have to consult the manual to find that out. But I kind of lean towards probably for graphics, just because there isn't anything else for that. And there are plenty of power connectors for the CPU, as we are about to see. So as we go up this edge, I'm pulling out our U.2 data cable for our Optane drive down there. We've got 2 fan connectors for these beefy boys that are on this very custom Asetek cooler. We'll dig into that a little bit when we remove it. This is going to be a much longer stream than I expected. So David, how's your back? You good? Okay, well, get buckled in, because this is going to be quite a thing. I didn't realize I was going to be installing a water cooler on top of doing a board swap. So now here, we're pulling out another power connector, and note this, 2 24-pin power connectors. Like what? Apparently this is optional because it was clearly working without it, but you can plug 2 power supplies directly into this motherboard. Like what? Also, here, we're going to go ahead and keep moving across the top here. Yeah, my friends, that is not 2, but 4 8-pin CPU power connectors, all the way up at the top of the board on the left and on the right here. Now, there's only 2 installed right now, so I guess the other 2 are optional if you're not doing like sub-zero overclocking or whatever else. But again, it gives you some idea of what they expect. These poor boards and CPUs might get put through. We're not going to be doing anything that nuts, though. We will leave the extreme overclocking challenge between like Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents, I think. So I have a slight problem. Anthony, can you iFixit kit me at some point here? All right. Yeah, some point in the relatively near future, because I don't have the Torx bit that if you could get mine, I know for sure my kit has all the pieces. It's in my office on the left of my bench table. Thank you. So yeah, I need these, I need to undo these Torx screws here. I'm pretty sure the iFixit kit has the right bit for it. And then I also just need to find where the crap the screws are on this very strange motherboard form factor, because I won't be able to pull the board out without undoing them. Oh, I guess I can take a moment to talk about the cooler. So I recognize this. This is clearly it's labeled. This is clearly an Asetek AIO water cooler, but it's unlike any one that I've seen before. Something a lot of people don't know is that while Asetek does provide coolers for consumer brands that you've heard of, like Corsair, for example, they also do a ton of OEM work in the server space, even going as far as to provide cooling solutions for large data centers. So it's not surprising necessarily to me to see a custom solution from Asetek. It's just that this one is pretty darn weird. So the first thing I noticed was that this block, so this core block and pump design was clearly not designed for such an immense CPU. Like, it obviously doesn't cover it. So there were going to be cores of this processor that were basically not covered by cooling water. Obviously, that would be a problem. So what they've done here is, as like an intermediary step, yeah, no, I think it's these ones first. As like an intermediary layer, they've gone and they've thrown this thick copper plate, because even though a CPU does have an IHS, an integrated heat spreader that is designed to spread out the heat from the die, apparently that was not considered enough, and they needed this nice thick piece of copper to act as kind of like a heat buffer, so that it could help to absorb and spread out all the heat that's coming off the CPU. It also clearly didn't work as well as they were hoping, because they went and included that EK solution in the box. So here we can get a look at a couple of things. So one is the carrier plate, like the carrier, I don't know, sled, you might call it. Are you gonna come off? Oh, the TIM breaker. Oh, cool, it's right here. There's a little icon there. Yep, perfect. You're supposed to pry open it there. That's neat. Okay, so we got to look at this carrier thing here. Can you just come off, please? There it is. Okay, just got to release that clip and that one. Okay, so that's designed to hold the CPU while you install it, so you don't accidentally bung it up. Is there a bloody bent pin in this socket? Oh, no. Well, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be putting that ASUS board in anyway. Wow, there's more than one. You gotta be kidding me. You can really see it from, oh, you can really see it from this angle down here. There's a bent pin there, and there's like 4 of them here. Can you see them at all?
I can see the one.
Can you see those 4? You can really see it from my angle if we swap spots. Yeah, you see that?
Wow.
Okay, you guys, we were live streaming this. I did nothing. I swear I did nothing. All right. Yeah, that's clearly a bad socket. Anyway, so a couple other things we can look at. We can see the sheer magnitude of this copper plate that they're using to spread that heat out. That's pretty impressive. And then we also get a look at the CPU itself. So back when Intel was demoing this, word on the street was that they were just using kind of tuned Xeon Platinum 8176s or 8180s, which are 28 cores, fit in this socket, and they were just manually changing them to have an unlocked multiplier. Well, now we get a specialized chip. So I actually don't remember all of the exact speeds and feeds off the top of my head, so I'm totally gonna cheat and look at my phone. But basically, this is the